Hi, Max. I really like this paragraph. You were very specific and you referred to the article several times, which is really good. A couple of things, a couple of grammatical things that I think will make the paragraph easier to read, and then a couple of content things. Let's start out with a grammatical error. Remember, at the very beginning of every single paragraph you write, you always need to remember your tab. You need to indent. So remember here, you're going to indent your paragraph. So you have, according to the article, comma, being a bully does not help your social status. The word your there is problematic. Remember, in a formal essay, we don't want to say you or I or me. So instead of your, you can just say you don't mean you mean a kid or a student's social status, right? So according to the article, being a bully does not help a student's social status. I know that that's very close to what I wrote on the board. However, I'd like you to say what this article is. So maybe you could say, according to a study done by CNN's Anderson Cooper, or according to a recent CNN study about bullying, blah, blah, blah. That way we get a little bit more context about what this article actually is. All right, second sentence. Other kids don't like a bully, period, right? Capitalize. According to the article, and again, we've got another according to the article, you might want to change your wording there just because you had used it in the earlier sentence. But in any event, if you have that introductory phrase, you do need a comma. So according to the article, if kids can be encouraged to recognize, I think that's a little typo, get rid of that D, if kids can be encouraged to recognize that being jerks doesn't actually make people like them, maybe they'll be a little nicer. That's great. That's a great quote that you took from the article. Just make sure that you give the person who wrote the article credit, right? Make sure you put it in quotes. That was a good piece to pick out, and you might want to just say, according to the article, if kids can be encouraged to recognize that being jerks doesn't actually make people like them, maybe they'll be a little nicer. And then you need to finish that up with a little bit more explanation. Next sentence. Here, good, now you're referring to the exact article again. The CNN study, you might want to say, also shows the kids switch places, period. 25% of kids are pure aggressors. Period. 14 are pure victims, and 17 are both. Now, what does that mean? You told me a little bit before, but interpret that data that you just gave. So just interpret right there. Add a little something. When kids read books or see movies, they have a better chance of becoming a bully. That's a fascinating piece of information, but you need to make sure you're tying that final piece of information to this business about being a bully doesn't help your social status. This is still about being a bully, but it's not really supporting your thesis in a meaningful way. So you might need to just explain it a little bit more. All in all, Max, great job.